Hi everybody, welcome back to Simply Strength. In today's video, I'd like to talk a little bit more candidly about a topic that's come to my attention this week. And really it relates to a question that's been burning in my mind. And I recently raised this issue with a group of close friends. The particular incident that provoked and instigated this line of thought occurred as I was working in my apartment. I had the window open and it was a very hot day. I heard a child crying outside in the car park. My apartment block, I'm probably about 3 floors up. And I thought I'd have a look out the window and see what was going on. And there was a girl out there waiting to get into the car with her dad. And she didn't want to get in for some reason. She's quite young, probably about 4 or 5, maybe first year at school. And anyway, both of them had reached an impasse for a couple of minutes. She kept crying and he started raising his voice louder and louder until he suddenly erupted and started swearing at her quite frantically, and then picked her up forcefully and put her in the back seat before driving off. And he had the window down and I could hear him whinging that, quote, "All I ever get all weekend is you're moaning on," and so on. That's the essence of what I could hear anyway. I wasn't, I was trying not to eavesdrop, but sometimes you just can't help but listen. And I was thinking, well, hang on a moment, this kid is 4 or 5 and has barely started school, and you're swearing and setting a very bad example. That violence, or more specifically, the use of force, is the solution to life's problems. And that's what gets you your own way. He picked her up quite forcefully, just put her in the back of the car, and he was very, it seemed very counterproductive to me. He lost his cool, and given that he lives nearby, I've seen 1 or 2 other instances where this has happened. Not just with him, but with his wife or girlfriend as well. He looks probably in his early 20s, and his partner looks younger than that, maybe late teens, early 20s as well. The area where we live is not particularly great. The apartment block where we are is almost an island, I would say, surrounded by more deprived areas. And there are many people on low income or benefits, and the extent to which this is a factor with regards to this, I've got no idea, but anecdotally, I think there might be an association. Just around the corner is a youth club, and a member of my family has had experience of running a similar club a couple of towns away. But common themes keep cropping up, and it's that of kids that live on council estates and their parents simply turf them out to the youth club or sports fields just to get them out of their hair, so that they don't have to deal with the difficult task of being a parent. The reason I'm going through all this, and the question that begs to be asked, is why have children at all if you're one of these people? Are they just an accessory to have, something you produce just because you feel like you should, because society says so? Honestly, so many of these parents, and I say that in quotation marks, do not have the slightest idea what discretion or tact is. Why am I continuing to rant on about this? Well, it has particular relevance to MGTOW. I and many of you out there have decided that we are certainly never getting married, and in a lot of cases, many of us forego children as well. In my own life, I'm choosing to do this because I feel that I can leave a stronger legacy with my actions and work, as opposed to a tablespoon of my genetic material that may or may not become a high-quality human being. Having children is one of the most monumental decisions a person can make. That of creating a human being with a mind and body that for the next 20 years of your life will be dependent on you for everything. The impact you can have with your actions and teachings have huge ramifications and effectively mould the person into the adult they will one day become. I'm dead set against having children, for selfish reasons, I make no bones about that. In that I realise that my life will never be my own once a baby is born. I only have one life and I intend to live it to the fullest. That and the fact that I'm just not very good with children. At least I can accept the barefaced truth of this statement. and acknowledge the facts. With all of that said, I can state with some reinforcement that I know a lot more about positive parenting than many people that do have kids. And this has come from my own education over the years, trying to understand aspects of my paternal upbringing, reading books and watching Stefan Molyneux's videos on positive parenting. I see these idiots with their children treating them like complete garbage and going about it all the wrong way, in many cases using the television as a surrogate parent. It also pisses me off when people with kids turn around and say, until you've had kids, you won't understand. That annoys me as well as the fact that often you hear parents moaning about their kids or aspects of parenthood. My own dad did this, when it was their decision to have them in the first place. And this brings me to the topic of the video and the conundrum facing, well, us as MGTOW, but also humanity in my opinion. I and many other MGTOW men have demonstrated in their videos, literature, scholarship and worldview that they are astute and highly intellectual. My impression of many MGTOW men in the public sphere, mainly on YouTube, is that most of them would make great parents, as they would apply their fervent wisdom and passion to studying effective parenting and inspire critical awareness and enthusiasm within their children. Given that many MGTOW are opting out of having kids, me included, are we really setting up humanity for a fall? I appreciate that not all parents are as inept as I've made out, but a considerable amount are, and it's growing. One of my chief excuses for not being a fan of parenthood is that the world is overpopulated enough as it is, so screw the birth rate. What I am concerned about is a potential future where there is an abundance of brain-dead, mindless sloths wandering around, and if it sounds like I'm advocating eugenics, I'm not. I just care about the destination of humanity and our progress as a species. What the parent who was shouting and swearing at his child outside didn't understand is that that behaviour will be imprinted on his daughter, and he will basically create a carbon copy of himself, who will then impart that behaviour, no doubt again, onto her son or daughter. And you just create a constant cycle of rubbish. And it's just pathological. It's an endless circle, a feedback loop almost. And I don't see how this can be remedied. So, what do you guys think? I mean, are we foregoing our duty as men? I mean, I certainly am never going to change my mind. I'm never having children. I just don't think, I would make a good parent because I'm not invested in it and I don't want to do it. Maybe if I wanted to be a parent, I would, apply myself and learn about positive parenting techniques and attack it with the same passion and enthusiasm that I approach my other hobbies with. So what do you guys think? I'm more interested in your views and thoughts on this issue. This is just a musing that I've had over the last few days, and I thought I would get some thoughts down there. And how do you see this happening? More and more people go MGTOW and make the, what some feminists have called the selfish decision not to have kids. So we are a selfish group. What do you think the destination is for humanity? Given that a lot of good quality men will not be having children, and people like the ones I've just mentioned in this video, they're going to grow in abundance. How do you see this playing out? Will there be a critical mass that's reached that a number of other people have speculated that will happen? I'm keen to hear your thoughts on it. So again, thanks for listening, and I'm going to leave you with some recommendations for some channels that I've been tuning into recently. I've spent a lot of time lately working, but also trying to take in as much new content as possible, just to broaden my horizons. Here are the channels. So we've got Edmond Dantes, who's recently just revealed himself, which kudos to him for that. A young guy, who looks a young guy anyway. I think he's still in his 20s. He's got very thoughtful, erudite and candid conversations that are relevant to MGTOW and also life and personal development in some of his videos, and I've thoroughly enjoyed that channel. CS MGTOW is based in the UK, like me, and he's done some very emotional videos about his own experiences. The music that he puts to them is excellent, and he just speaks from the heart. And then lastly, there's Whispered 77, who I've only just started watching, but he reminds me an awful lot of Truth Over Everything's channel, mainly with his passion. He's a bit more passionate than Truth, and less focused on the personal development stuff, but he's very much MGTOW, and he does get very, shall I say, vitriolic, and very enthusiastic in his videos. He's not uploaded some for a while, but the content that's on his channel is excellent at the moment, and I'm working my way through that. So they're the 3 channels, and I'll include the links below, and you can go and check them out. Like I said, I appreciate your comments regarding this topic. It'd be interesting to see some of the perspectives that you guys have got, and as always, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.